G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and this is the bonus content for Legacy Kain Soul Reaver. Now, there's some Soul Reaver 2 stuff in here too, but we're really only going to be focused on the Soul Reaver stuff. Now, this is for those of you who are interested about some of the lost content, the deleted content. So, the bonus content we have galleries, music, lost levels, which is something we're going to focus on, lore, videos, Dark Chronicles, credits, and back to the launcher. The gallery has pictures and whatnot, music player if you want to actually listen to the music from the two games, lore of Nosgoth if you want to actually learn more about it. Videos are just openings, outtakes, demos. So outtakes is really nice if you really want to have a look at the people behind the voices. So if you really want to know and you haven't seen what Kain, Elder God, Raziel looks like, I want to say there might be some Soul Reaver 2 stuff in there too, so be aware of that. But I don't think they actually show Mobius. And Dark Chronicles is basically if you want a text-based story of it. It tells you everything through story. But Lost Level is what we want. Now we have 4 things. We have the Undercity, the Smokestacks, the Retreat, and the Forges. So, straightforward. I'm not going to read it all. Feel free to do so. But he's the guy who runs the Lost Worlds. He, along with a lot of people behind him, were able to catalog all the lost content, images, levels, videos, everything. So if you want a definitive look at everything that was missing from every single game, then please go have a look. You know, it was amazing. I've been aware of that website for, like a better term, over a decade at least. And I always kept going back there before any of this was even a thought. So let's start with the Undercity. Now, you cannot fully complete this stuff. It is incomplete. They never finished it. So you cannot go from the start to the end. So we will have to cut back and forwards. All right, so the Undercity is where we would have gone to deal with the Priestess. So this is under the Human Citadel. I've always speculated you went through the water pipe to get there. I'm not sure. I've never actually found where the entrance would have been. So you have all these bridges and you go all sorts of places. You will get blocked, and the respawn feature isn't brilliant. It basically tries to send you back where you were. Not amazing. Anyway, the point of this area was you would raise the water level, and as you raise the water level, obviously you would use Rahab's ability, and you would get higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. The warp gate does look kind of cool. Obviously we have shift at will. This does actually connect somewhat to the main area that we were just in. You just swim out and you end up where we were, so you can actually vet. Now, after you filled everything up, you would get to the Priestess's boss room. Now, you can actually go back that way. You get stuck, you run out of places, but if you do that before coming in here, that door don't close. But now there's no way back. Now there is something here, and you can't actually get it, and I love these doors. I can hear you. So of course a cutscene would play, and the Priestess would call you a heretic and all this because you turned on Kain. obviously, and then of course these doors would open. You would fight vampires. I want to say there's a Tyrilum behind one of these doors, but I can't actually get inside. So after beating them, we would climb up here. And here is the priestess. Now, I've tried going both these ways and I got nowhere, and I couldn't figure out how to face through that gate, so I gave up. So this is the priestess. She served Kain all this time. There's some speculation that she was being fed vampire blood to keep her alive. She is in the comics. There was a comic for Soul Reaver 1 that actually showed some of the missing characters, but she is vastly dressed differently. She's more revealing in this game than in the comic, and of course the comic now it's not too bad. But each of the clans, as you can hopefully make out on the low textures, she has tattooed on her body. Raziel's, weirdly, and you can't really see it, is on the small of her back. So you have the 2 for Duma. I'm thinking that could be Zephon or maybe Tyrell. And then just above her butt, you could just make out the black outline. It could actually be her dress of Rahab. So you kill her, which you can kill, and she falls down dead. And you would take her soul, and you then would gain possession, and I'm assuming that's how you would get out of this room. So she's dead, you're done. So that is the end of the Undercity. So then we go to the smokestacks. So this would get you to the mountain retreat. This is also the lair of Tyrell. Now, things are connected, kinda. You actually have to get the orrery working to get the smokestack itself. I think it's, yeah. Basically threw myself out the window. I've tried completing this. You can't do it. Unless you can mod it somehow, but yeah, I can't do it. So, go up this path. And here we have the turbine. So the idea was all this would fill up with smoke, the turbine would kick in, and they would belch into the sky and would fill in the sunlight. So only fledgling vampires would actually have any issues, excluding the Rahabium, who of course had vulnerability to the sun because of water. They traded their sunlight defense to be able to survive water better. Now, weirdly enough, this sounds like they're falling into water, and I don't know why. Also, I was looking for these and I couldn't find them. This is the dart. I don't know why. I've always been a fan of this weapon. Alright. You have these little alcoves that don't go anywhere, but then we jump over here. Now, I would assume that you would obviously get burnt if you got into the fire, so there is that. And keep going this way. Alright. Whoop. So this is the first turbine. If I can activate it. Now you've got to get into there. Now I'm assuming this would start to spin. So it would actually make it easier to jump across. Now I can't get to those ones. I've tried. I can't make it. I'm going to try making it over to here. So I assume that allows you to get back up if you fell down. Now, this might have actually been the opening to get to Tyrell. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. So you can go all the way down here. If you fall down, we have a nice little Tyrell buddy here. I actually thought that was going to connect. Now, you just need to make it into here. So you can do it from up there, so I'm not quite sure what you would have achieved. So I'm wondering if there was something else up there that you needed to get to, but yeah, neither here nor there. And you go into here. And keep going, jump up here. Get a nice little cutscene saying this is where you've got to go. We have our nice little Terrillium buddy over there with a switch. So I assume you would turn this switch and this would let the water start going. And that would fill up down here. If you go down there, you have a hard time getting back up. So you got to get through there. But you've got to use him because he activates that switch. I've yet to find a way to get across there because you cannot use the actual ability that you need to actually get there. So this is where you would use the priestess's possession ability, which is not accessible, and then that would flick the switch, and I'm assuming would either fill the water up more, activate something, but you get through that gate. But right now we can't go any further. So next area, Turel's audience chamber. Now, if you just come down here and look around, it's pretty awesome. But you actually need to go back to the door because it'll actually trigger part of the boss fight.
Let me pass, Tyrell. I have enough blood on my hands today. My quarrel lies with Kain.
Poor Raziel. Your rage blinds you to the bond of gratitude that we owe our master.
Gratitude? Toward one who would have you grovel at his gate like a dog? You once had noble aspirations, Tyrell. Now, how humbled are your goals? Do you prosper on the scraps he casts you?
Your insults will do nothing to blunt the agonies of your demise.
You killed me once. Behold the result. I have no more to fear from you.
So I'm just trying to... You can throw Force Bridge. I'm trying to remember who the actual original voice actor was. Just actually Googling it. See if I can actually find it. Because the voice actor is very well known. I'm just trying to remember what his actual name was. Alright, so it was Richard Doyle who voiced Tyrell, which I didn't think he was. Apparently he was. Alright, so you can attack all you want. So for some reason he was laughing when I was using the there you go. He starts laughing because you can't hurt him. The idea was apparently, actually, because I don't think you can actually... Alright, so you can't even use that against him. But from what I understand, he would knock these down, but I don't know if I can get him to use his force projectile on me. Because he just used it before. He's a bit stuck. Oh! I didn't realize I could do that. Here we go, now he's following me. Is he? You gotta come down, Tyrell? So we'll see if I can actually finish this boss fight. I don't expect it to. Come on, Tyrell. Throw your green balls. It's the only one. Come on. Let me see if you can actually knock these down. I'm assuming we just can't use a glyph. Nope. But yeah, Raziel would make the reference that he can smell water. And from what I understand from looking at the Lost Worlds, obviously he can't, and he drowns and you get his soul, and that's it. So that is the original battle for Tyrell. And he's somehow more humanoid and at the same time not. So there we go. So that's all the missing levels. So I'm glad they added that because this has been amazing. We haven't done the treat. I'm jumping my gun. So this is Kain's. This is where you would find Kain. Now I always keep climbing up the wrong side. So 2 of these end up in the darkness and the other one gains to the entrance. So those 2 don't really get you anywhere. Alright, so here is those stairs that we saw in the 3rd Chronoplast vision. So I'm assuming this was just a placeholder. I don't think there's access. There's that up there, and up here is the Chronoplast. The warp gate, which I think we can actually get to. Yes, we can. The gate's missing, but yes, we can get to it. Now, the one problem with this area is you can almost technically go through the entire level if you go backwards, because you can't go into here. So we can go to the throne room. So if you go that way, you'll get back to those gates, and ironically, once you walk through the door, it blocks off. So we can come up here and we can go visit Kain's alternative throne room. So it's assumed that this is where he was for all those centuries, apart from the Chronoplast chamber, waiting for Raziel to come back, which has some rather nice stained glass windows, including those ones that look like the doors from the Chronoplast, and rather a nice looking throne which you can stand on but you cannot sit in. I would say it's reminiscent of the one he has at the Citadel of the Clans. There's not enough spikes. There need to be 9 spikes, and I'm counting 8. Alright, so then we get to the pinnacle. So I'm assuming this is where you would actually fight Kain. So you come up here, and that literally drops you because there's nothing here. You can't actually get anywhere. So you can just make out some of the architecture. It could also be the top of the Silent Cathedral for all I know. But yeah, you can literally go from here, go backwards. It does block you off each time you try to come different ways. We go this way. And where are you? Yep, this one. So we go down here. We have some very lovely architecture. That's the word I was looking for, architecture. Jeez. Now you go that away. That gets you to Kain's throne room. And of course, if you come back here, And I'll try not to bust through it like I always do. You go out this here, and there is your courtyard. To which, like I said, if you go out, the door closes, you can't get back in. So, there we go. That is the missing, technically, story levels. You do get the forges, but these were meant to be for the Soul Reaver itself. We got one. We're missing the other ones. So we have the water temple. You can't go anywhere. This does give me remnant feelings of one of the upgrades. Obviously the Soul Reaver doesn't work. So we have the Sound Forge, which is empty as there's nothing here. You can't even interact with anything, so there's nothing to actually activate it, anything. So that one really was cut near the end. The Sunlight Forge was interesting. And I want to say it must have or might have been connected to the lighthouse. So I'm wondering if the light from the lighthouse somehow trickles down into here. Not sure, but as before, we can't leave, so we don't know where it actually would have connected to. Oops. Fireforge we had. So this is the original Fireforge, and honestly, it's not too different to the real thing. It's just missing some of the artwork and everything. And we can actually see the actual Reaver itself because, well, it actually is in the game. Spirit Forge. This one's always had me curious because this is in the Human Citadel. The architecture and the music tell me it is. Also, that is a really, really, really weird thing. So that's very, very peculiar, especially even for the ancient vampires. So there we go. Now, before we finish this, I do need to go back into the actual game because I am going to use the debug menu for this. So I'm just going to load up any of my saves. Doesn't matter. However, levels are in here. Which of course we have all our normal levels. But we have Riley's test area. We have push. Dark Eden. Demo areas, movie areas. So let's have a look at a couple of these. So let's see what Riley's test area is. If it will actually load. I think I crashed the game. Give me a second, I'll be right back. So that first one, the what was it? I'm gonna get attacked here. And I apparently can't, I have no abilities. We'll just get rid of these guys so they stop being noisy. Alright, so the first area I couldn't do anything. It literally crashed. So this is apparently the... where was it? The push room. So we have a blue torch. We have... I can't pick it up. We have a blue torch. Can we... Alright, we can't interact with the blocks. We have a portal. We have a spear. That's all solid. I thought I could actually climb it, but there's nothing up there. So I guess this is where we would have they experimented with how things worked, but I can't actually do anything. So let's have a look to see what the other one was. So we'll go push 3. If it doesn't crash. I'm going really well with these. So I don't know why, but apparently Dark Eden is the Fire Forge. Don't know why. I tried going through some more of the pushes and got nothing. So hopefully I can actually do one of these and not crash again. So obviously this is the arrival point. So fair enough. Where are we? I went a long way around with that one. Okay. What? Oh, okay, so that's our tomb. Makes sense. Now I don't know what's going to happen here with Kain. So we have... Actually, I'm going to use activate abilities because I'm not going to be able to do much of anything. Alright, so we'll do shift anytime. That's all that matters. So here's the... Can I actually pick up the Soul Reaver? Nope. Holy crap, I can. Can't use it, but I can pick it up. That's pretty damn cool. Actually... That's a rather interesting way of attacking. Can you throw it? Yes, and I probably just lost it. Yep, lost it. Or is that going to respawn again? Nope. So this is, of course, where Raziel was struck. And I'm just looking. We do have gateways and stuff, but obviously probably won't get very far with it. So if you can actually access this, you can actually use the physical Soul Reaver, which is pretty cool. Alright, so that was 3, let's go 4. This is where we kill Ariel. And she's just a static model. And this is the location. None of us have been able to work out exactly where it is. So, yeah, we get the Ariel Reaver out of this. But interesting. Can't say that the debug menu itself is not interesting. 5? That's not what I was expecting. So this is the balcony overlooking the Silent Cathedral after we activate the things, which I'm assuming we just jump out, we're just going to die. Or just float. Yeah, just lost himself. I'll go back to 4. Yep. So, in order of the chronoplast, they're a little bit out of whack. In the actual proper order, they're actually in line. So, here's the confrontation with Kain. Can't do anything. There's that gateway I mentioned. We have a climbable wall. That should be that leads us to the warp gate. I might actually try turning my climbing abilities on. I don't expect to actually get anywhere with it, but I'm curious. Where are we? Wall crawling. That just activated a few of our abilities. Alright, so I can't climb anyway. Alright, so this is basically where we had a Kain, and he's like, you know, is he waiting for me in a different time, and etc. So I think that's about it. I have a feeling if I try anything else, it's not going to work. Well, we found out Aluka is Rahab's. Ash Village is obviously Dumas. Oracle's Cave is the caves. Pillars is Pillars, like Cathedral. Skinner, I know for a fact, is Melchiah. Stone Glyphs, unlike Glyph. Tomb of the Seven, which is our corpse. Chronoplast and Water Glyph. Cliff. I want to say Cliff is the water, but I don't think it is. Okay, apparently it is, because I know Hubba is also that. Okay. So we have one is Raziel's, and the other is Duma's. Okay. Training, boss arenas, anteroom, Skinner, Kathy, 55 pillars, Aluka, Nightbit, and Chrono. So I'm assuming that's the area before it. The Skinner's Milkaya, Kathy is Zephon, Pillars is Kain, Aluka is Rahab, Nightbit would be Duma, and Kronos is of course Kain's last battle. And I don't think we get anywhere for demo rooms, do we? If this crashes, I give up. Which it pretty much has. Alright, so that last one crashed me completely. So I think that'll do for all this bonus content. I do highly recommend you having a look for yourself. Obviously, you can't do the debug menu stuff if you don't use the debug menu. And of course, as far as I know, that's only accessible from PC Steam. I don't know about GOG, and I definitely don't know about Xbox and PS5. I assume they're on. So, you know, figure that out for yourself, I guess. But apart from that, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. I do have a look at my analytics, and a lot of you who watch my videos are not subscribed, so make sure you do that. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.